What's good with y'all? You know what it is. It's your boy, the chosen one, God's chosen son. And today, I'm about to teach y'all how to overcome temptation. Now, fun fact about God's chosen son, aka Jay the Realest, illest chillest alive. I was a porn addict for 20 years. I got into it when I was 4 years old. Found my dad's stash in the linen closet or whatever back in the day. And ever since then, it was history. Now, how did I break these chains, you might ask? Well, I'm about to tell you. What we had to understand about temptation, first off, is that temptation don't come from God. It comes from Satan. God always offers us a way out of the temptation. But one of the biggest mistakes we make in the faith is we think we can resist all of the temptation by our own means, our own power. During my journey battling with that sin and that stronghold, that stronghold over my life, it was plenty of times where I would go on phenomenal streaks of, not entertaining that spirit. And I would get a bit prideful. Like I would be doing so good and, being in the bliss and the joy of being obedient and fleeing from, the temptation, that I would stop reading my Bible as much. I would stop praying as much. And then eventually I would have a day where I was weak and I would get tempted. That's when the test would come. Satan to come back and tempt, because he don't do no new, do nothing new. Everything he do the same thing over and over, and I would fall. So first off, you have to renew your mind. You have to understand the things that you take in. These are portals. You have to renew your mind. You have to start taking in new things. You have to replace the old habits, the bad habits, with something good, whatever you battle with. It may not be porn. It may be sex addiction. It may be, you get angry too quickly. It may be gossiping, backbiting, stuff like that. It may be all types of things. It could be anything, right? It may be eating too much, sweets. That was another thing for me. But you have to renew your mind. You have to replace the bad habits with good ones. They say it take 21 days to form a habit, right? Form a new habit. So you have to get into a routine of prayer, fasting. You have to purge your social media of certain things. And you have to just start taking in information that's of God, right? That's the next thing I want to talk about. You have to pray and fast. Some demons can only be casted out by prayer and fasting. Like, you just got to understand that. That's why, Christ was in prayer all the time. That's why Christ fasted a lot of the time. That's why he fasted for them 40 days and 40 nights after the spirit of the Son of God descended upon him when he was baptized, right? So you have to be willing to consecrate your flesh. The next thing you have to do, you have to cut off the source. A lot of the times we want repentance and we will want to flee from the temptation, but you're not cutting off the source of that temptation. So, like, let's say for me, for example, right? I had to add blockers on my phone. I had to make it to where, and I had to have somebody else put a code in on my phone to where I cannot access, certain websites unless I put in a code in order to unlock those blockers. So I had to cut it at the root, like, to where even if I tried, it's a reminder right there, like, I can't do it. So you have to really sit there and you have to cut the sin at the root. You can't even give Satan a sliver of a door to come in. Nextly, you gotta want it, bro. You gotta want it for yourself, like truly want it, and you have to be able to forgive yourself when you fall. The Bible say the righteous fall several times and get back up. So you gotta take the small victories, bruh. Like it was at a point in my life where I was gooning every single day. Like I was gooning every single day in my teenage years. And over time, it went from every day to, a couple times a week to, once a week to, I would just you got to put the distance between yourself and your sin. Once you start seeing yourself do that, you're starting to break the strongholds. Another thing, when you do break the stronghold, don't go back, bruh. Don't go back. It say when a demon is cleaned up and packed up and got up out of there, he'll come back bringing 7 more. So if you fall back into that sin, it's gonna be 10 times harder for you to get up out of it. So you can't double back, man. Once you really get some time put between you and that, and you doing real good, you gotta stay consistent with the fasting and the prayer and going and giving it to God, because Satan is a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. The second you not vigilant on what's going on in this spiritual warfare, he gonna attack. And inevitably, if you ain't feeding the spirit, you gonna fall. The last point I want to make, you gotta feed the spirit. Like, this go back to what I was saying about me getting prideful. We have to feed the spirit daily, like how we was feeding our flesh daily. Every single day, it was times in our lives where every single day we was going out pleasing our flesh, eating what we wanted to eat, doing what we wanted to do, looking at what we wanted to look at, sleeping with who we wanted to sleep with. We was working for the devil. We was pleasing our flesh every day. You got to understand, to keep the spirit strong, you have to take in things of the spirit every single day. You have to take in things of the spirit every single day. You walking in this walk. With that being said, I hope this video helped y'all out in some way. Stay strong out there, saints. Like, whatever you battling with, whatever you afflicted with, whatever strongholds has come against you in your life, be that person in your family. Understand, a lot of this stuff be generational curses, and it's passed down through trauma in our childhood. So you strong enough to break it. You can do anything through Christ who strengthens you. Let that be known. With all of that being said, it's your boy, the chosen one, God's chosen son, signing out.